Hailey Bieber has finally spoken up about what's really happening with Justin, and the reality is far heavier than most people expected. Fans already knew he was going through something, but no one thought it had reached this point. This isn't just a phase or a bad mood, it's painful to watch. For months, Justin's behavior has been unraveling right in front of the world. It began with those chaotic public moments that spread across social media. In one, he was seen shouting about money, accusing people around him of caring only about cash instead of real human connection. That single outburst was enough to shock fans and hint that something much deeper was wrong. Soon after, strange paparazzi pictures of Justin started appearing, and people couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Then came the odd Instagram posts, shared one after another. Some were so cryptic that fans began speculating if they were directed at Hailey herself. It was like watching things spiral out of control in real time. But what the public didn't realize was that behind closed doors, the situation was even more troubling than it appeared. That's when whispers began spreading that Hailey might be preparing to place Justin under a conservatorship. The very word instantly brings up memories of Britney Spears or Wendy Williams. The thought of Hailey taking complete legal control over her husband's life sounded extreme, but reports say it's a serious possibility. And if history has taught us anything, these arrangements rarely end well. They often rob people of freedom when they're already at their lowest, leaving them trapped instead of supported. Imagine not being able to buy yourself anything with your own money or make a personal decision without someone else's approval. That feels more like punishment than protection. The idea has left fans stunned. Could Justin really be in such a bad place? Recent reports suggest his mental health is collapsing quickly, and it's only getting worse. Justin himself once admitted that he thought marriage would be the answer to his struggles, but instead, it led to an emotional breakdown. Over the past year, the world has seen him break down in tears, post raw rants online, and appear completely lost in public. His distant behavior and the emptiness in his eyes have only made people more worried. Things look so serious now that even legal experts are openly weighing in on what could happen if his situation doesn't improve. The reality is chilling. If Justin's condition continues to worsen, either Hailey or his mother could step in legally to take control of his life, his finances, medical decisions, and even custody of their child. That last detail alone shows how serious things have become. California doesn't grant conservatorships easily. It took a massive global campaign to free Britney Spears from hers. For a judge to even consider granting one for Justin, the court would need undeniable proof that he can't manage his life on his own. And this is where it becomes alarming. Some legal experts believe Justin may actually meet the requirements if things keep going downhill. For Hailey to succeed in court, she'd have to prove he isn't just struggling, but is a danger to himself, to her, and to their baby. On top of that, she'd need to show he's unable to make rational decisions in almost every aspect of his life. That's not a light claim to make. Fans are shaken by the thought of Justin losing every bit of control over his own life. It's one thing to admit he needs professional help, but it's another to suggest he should be stripped of independence altogether. The fan base is divided. Many agree Justin clearly needs support, but forcing him into court and taking away his freedom feels like going too far. Most people believe what he truly needs is therapy, real love, and time away from the cameras to heal without the constant pressure. The big question now is whether Hailey will choose to give him that breathing room. To her credit, she has stood beside him through every storm, even as the internet piles criticism on her no matter what she does. Every time Justin struggles, the blame somehow lands on her shoulders. Look at the recent onstage moment when Justin appeared completely drained, barely able to hold himself together. Instead of focusing on how fragile he looked, critics went after Hailey, accusing her of sitting back and doing nothing. But really, what could she have done in that situation? Run onto the stage in front of thousands and physically pull him off? She's caught in an impossible position, trying to be supportive while the whole world watches and judges her actions. Through it all, she's been clinging to the hope of helping Justin return to the version of himself she once fell in love with. Justin was once the unstoppable star selling out arenas, topping charts, and living the dream. That was the person Hailey fell for, and she's been holding on ever since, determined to keep things together. But let's be real. She didn't sign up to be his therapist, his mother figure, his emotional lifeline, and his wife all rolled into one. Right now, it feels like she's carrying the entire relationship on her back, quietly holding everything together without making a scene. And while she may not show it, the weight of that responsibility has to be exhausting. Behind the scenes, everything reportedly shifted once their baby arrived. Hailey's attention naturally turned toward being a mother, and her time and energy became centered on caring for the newborn. That left her with far less space to constantly manage Justin's emotions. It was the moment when he needed to rise to the occasion and carry his share of the weight. But instead, things seemed to spiral further. Around that same period, his public breakdowns became more frequent, and his online presence grew increasingly unpredictable. Looking back, the timing of it all connects too neatly to be ignored. People close to the couple have started whispering that Hailey may be at her breaking point. She appears drained, and the pressure is finally starting to show. No one outside their home truly knows how intense things have become, But it's obvious that whatever Hailey chooses next could change Justin's entire life. It could either serve as the wake-up call he desperately needs, or end up pushing him further into collapse. What makes this story even stranger is the sudden wave of articles in major outlets, painting detailed pictures of how Hailey could take legal control of Justin's life. It feels almost too convenient, like the media is deliberately floating the idea to the public, laying the groundwork for her to actually take that step. And if you're familiar with how Hollywood tends to work, this is often how it begins. Quietly placed stories in the press, followed by paparazzi photos that just happen to capture the worst possible moments. Think about it. Why is it that Justin always seems to get photographed when he looks exhausted, confused, or completely out of sorts? It's never candid shots of him grabbing coffee with a smile or enjoying a normal day. It's always those images that highlight his most fragile state. To many, it feels like someone wants the public to view him as broken. That exact tactic was used against Britney Spears years ago, painting her as unstable before a conservatorship was forced onto her. And now, the same narrative is quietly being built around Justin. This leads to an unsettling question. How do paparazzi always know where he'll be? Some fans are convinced that someone within his circle is leaking his whereabouts. It's hard to dismiss the theory because photographers don't randomly appear at the exact coffee shop or street corner he chooses. If someone close to him is feeding that information, it's terrifying because the more unsteady he looks in public, the stronger the case becomes for anyone arguing that he isn't capable of managing his own life. To be fair, this doesn't mean harmful actions should be overlooked or excused. If Justin is making destructive choices, he needs accountability. But constantly throwing blame at Hailey isn't the answer either. The larger, more disturbing issue might be that someone in his inner circle actually benefits from him spiraling, and that possibility makes the entire picture darker than anyone realized. This isn't about attacking Hailey. She looks exhausted, and it's hard to imagine she ever got to enjoy marriage the way she thought she would. Instead of living with a superstar at his peak, she's been forced into the role of caretaker, counselor, and emotional lifeline, all while raising a baby and handling her own career. That's more than anyone should carry alone. And at some point, she must have wondered how she ended up with two dependents, one in diapers and one lost in emotional turmoil. The conservatorship rumors aren't the end of the story either. Lately, whispers suggest Hailey could be preparing to walk away altogether. Talk of divorce grew louder after she sold her brand for an incredible $1 billion. Supporters immediately cheered her on, saying she no longer needs Justin and should start over. From the outside, the idea doesn't seem so impossible anymore. Signs of strain have been showing for weeks. They may not fight in public, but their social media posts say plenty. Justin has shared cryptic captions that sound like he doubts Hailey's loyalty, while she's hinted she's barely keeping things together. She even mentioned therapy in a post before quickly deleting it. Those screenshots spread online instantly, fueling even more speculation. To many, it feels like their marriage is unraveling in plain sight. After all the loyalty Hailey has shown, standing by him when most would have left, what is she receiving in return? Subtle jabs, emotional distance, and a partner who doesn't always seem to want her loving. Justin doesn't need another hit record or photo shoot. He needs real therapy and honest support. Hailey needs rest, peace, and time to find herself again. Whatever happens next, both of them are hurting, and maybe the world should stop treating their struggles as entertainment. So what do you think? Is Justin reaching out for help in the only way he knows how? Or has Hailey reached the point where walking away is the only option left? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and pass this video along.